Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is Technology Mafia, and today we are reviewing and comparing three pairs of Sony headphones. Alright, so here are all three headphones next to each other. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide this review up into some sections so it's easier to follow. What we'll do is, first of all, we'll talk about specs. In addition to that, we'll talk about the build because I'll show you guys up close what each of these looks like. So the MA300, these have a 40mm driver. I don't know if you could see it there. It's a 40mm driver. Its sensitivity is 102 decibels per milliwatt, 40 ohm impedance, and the coverage is 10 to 24,000 hertz. So there it is. You could see it's a metal looking mesh here. The interesting thing about these pads is that you could see they move. They kind of swivel on an axis, it looks like. And so when you put them on, they press right up against your ears. Now, these are fairly soft. This is plastic, this part right here is plastic, so your cushion is not very thick. The build on this is, for the price, you can tell it's a cheap headphone because it's all plastic construction. This is the only headphone out of the set of three that has dual entry cables. So you could see there, focus there. So dual entry cables. And the cable on this headphone is very interesting. It's one of the most unique cables that I've seen, but it's dual entry, and then it comes together and it forms a circle. So it's kind of two halves of a circle, and then it just forms a circle. All three of these headphones have the same problem of having a cable that is way too long. So it's about a 9-foot cable. Here's the end. That's a 3.5mm connector on the end there. These are not really intended for portable use because you're going to be lugging around cables that are way too long. So moving on, the MA500. These feature a 40mm driver. The sensitivity is 104 decibels per milliwatt. These are 40 ohms as well, and the coverage is 8 to 25,000 hertz. So just slightly better range. That's what it looks like. I do like the little silver accents on the inside and on the edge. Here's the pads. They're slightly thicker, and like the MA300s, these cups swivel, so they press up against your ears. That's what they look like. The top, the headband is, the construction is plastic. There is padding on the headband. And this padding is very soft. There's a little spot in the middle so that you don't get a hot spot in the middle of your head. One cable entry, and this cable is very long. So 9 feet in length, and it ends with that connector. And last but not least, these are the MA900s. Now this is the top of the line headphone of the range. These have 70mm drivers. Yes, that's right, 70mm drivers. They are sensitive to 104 decibels per milliwatt. The impedance, this is impressive, is 12 ohms. And they cover from 5 to 40,000 hertz. So their range is very big. Now these drivers on the inside don't swivel, but they also don't touch your ears. So it's a little different. These have little cutouts. See, you can tell that these are very open headphones. They're not designed to enclose sound at all. At the top, I read that this is magnesium, and I think it is. I don't think this is plastic construction. A lot of people complain about the cheapness of this headphone, or the relative, how they feel. They feel cheaper than a $300 pair of headphones. But when you put these on, you forget all about that because they're so lightweight. And that's why they are built the way that they are. They're not built to be a bulky headphone. They're built to be one of the most comfortable headphones you can purchase. And they are, and they're very lightweight. But I still think that they're pretty durable. I wouldn't take them traveling with me, but for home use, they're more than adequate. At the top, you do have padding, which is nice, and that's what they look like. The MA500 is more understated. The MA900 is a little bit more flashy. So there we are. So that's what they look like. Oh, and I should show you the 3.5mm jack on the end of this is much nicer. So this is the MA900 connection, and you can compare that to the other two. Here they are, just to show you kind of quality of each. This is the MA300, the MA500, and the MA900. These are Thailand, China, and we don't know where that one's made in. So there we are. Now let's talk about comfort, the MA300. So when I first put these on, what I'll say is that they kind of feel weird because they feel like you're putting on an over-ear headphone on top of an on-ear headphone, because this pad here just sits on your ear and it moves. I mean, if you adjust it, it moves. And then this just sits around your ear. So it feels like you're almost wearing two sets of headphones. And to be honest, it's not very comfortable. This is kind of, it feels a little cheap. It's like a foam material. So I would rate these the lowest out of the three in comfort. It's a little strange to listen to, and I found myself not wanting to use these headphones as much as I wanted to use the others, simply because of the way that they sat on my head. The MA500s are an improvement over the MA300s. These cups still touch your ears slightly. So the cups go over and then these pads touch your ears slightly. However, the pressure isn't as great as the MA300s. And overall, the headband cushion is a big plus at the top. The weight of the headphone kind of rests on that piece, and it's a lot more comfortable than the no cushioning that you get with the MA300. So overall, this is an improvement, and they are more comfortable. I used these for a while and I didn't feel uncomfortable wearing them for long periods of time at all. Now the MA900s, as far as comfort is concerned, these are amazing. The reviews are all correct. I mean, these headphones, you put them on and a lot of reviewers say you can't feel that they're on your head. I would say that's completely accurate. I mean, you put them on and you forget that they're there. There's very little pressure on your ears and it's open. So the fact that it's open, it lets air in so your ears won't sweat up a bunch. They're very, very lightweight, which we'll talk about here in a second. The pads here in the middle, they don't touch your ear at all. So all that you feel is just this pad around your ear. So these are very, very comfortable. So weights. I went ahead and weighed all three of these headphones, and I'll list this out for you. So the MA300s came in at 285 grams. The MA500s came in at 265 grams, and the MA900s came in at 220 grams. So the point of that is the MA900s are the top of the line headphones, and they are also the lightest headphones. And comfort improves as you move up through the range, and weight has a lot to do with that. As far as price, now these are all current Amazon prices. You can obviously get these headphones for less if you buy them used or if you find them on sale. But currently, the MA300s sell for about $43 on Amazon. The MA500 sells for about $120 on Amazon. And the MA900 sells for about $250 on Amazon. All right, now we move on to the most important part of the review, which is sound, obviously. So the MA300s, what I can tell you is that in comparison to the other two, these are the least impressive. These are inexpensive headphones. They are open back headphones. I wouldn't recommend that you go out and buy these and expect that they will sound amazing. They sound more spacious than other closed back headphones, but they are not as detailed, they're not as dynamic. They don't make your music sound as good as other offerings, not only by the other two headphones in this review, but other headphones that you could go out and purchase, even that I've reviewed previously. I think that this pair, you can tell that was made for a budget, And even though it looks like, based on the specs, that it's very similar to the MA500, the difference in sound is very noticeable. And they are inferior. They're quieter, first of all. When you plug them into your phone, you can definitely tell that they are not as efficient, so they're a lot quieter than the MA500s and the MA900s. The bass is a little subdued. Everything is pretty rolled off. The detail is there, however, it's not at the same level as the other two headphones at all. So because of that, I wouldn't recommend you go out and purchase them. When you add the sound and the comfort together, it's not a headphone that I would recommend. The MA500s are more interesting. So these headphones actually have a bit more bass, believe it or not, than the MA900s. They are very clear. However, the thing that distinguishes these headphones from the MA900s is that they don't sound as open or as spacious. They have a great sound stage, don't get me wrong, amazing sound stage for an open back headphone. However, when you compare it to the bigger brother, right away there's such a huge difference that you almost don't want to go back to listening to these. However, I will tell you that the bass is, for whatever reason, not cleaner, but more thumpy. So there is more bass response with these headphones, even though it's fighting with 40mm drivers versus the 70mm drivers of the MA900. This is a headphone that if you can find for cheap enough, I would recommend. If you're in the market for an open back headphone and you don't want to go out and spend $250, I think that these are awesome. In fact, it would be interesting to see how these stacked up against a Sennheiser HD 598, for example, because I think it would probably put up a decent fight. So overall, these are good headphones. They're not amazing. If you find them on sale, I say if you can find them for like $80, you have a pretty good deal, and you'd be pretty happy with these headphones. Now we move on to the last pair of headphones, the MA900. Now these have been reviewed by multiple people on YouTube, and they've been praised all over the internet. When I decided to go out and purchase these, I already knew that they were hyped up. I came in and I put them on, and to be honest, my first impressions were like, I don't know if I like these. They're not that great. They don't sound as amazing as everyone made it seem like they would sound. And the more I listened to them, the more I compared them to others. In fact, I compared them to several other headphones that I currently own, closed back. The more I realized what these headphones were about. If you're looking for bass thump and response, these are not the headphones for you. That's not to say that the bass isn't there, it's just not a prominent aspect of these headphones. In fact, a very interesting comparison would probably be these MA900s and the XB500s that I love as headphones. I will tell you that these headphones do an amazing job with mids, with vocals, especially female vocals or Justin Bieber. Amazing. For male vocals, they still do a great job, but with female, they are just amazing. The thing that you notice about these headphones more than anything else, though, is you put them on and the separation of sound is just unbelievable. So it sounds like you're either in a concert or you have people surrounding you who are performing live. It's that good. I don't know how they did it, but Sony has created a soundstage that's unlike anything that I've ever heard in a headphone. So while initial reaction was, wow, these aren't as thumpy, there's really no bass, they're not as fun to listen to as some other headphones that I have, I will tell you that for clarity, they are amazing. For soundstage, they are amazing. The highs are not piercing. After an hour or two of listening to the Audio-Technica M50X, your ears start ringing and you get tired of it because they're just so piercing. These are very comfortable to listen to. The highs are rolled off. The mids are excellent. The lows are there. I mean, the bass notes are there. You can hear them in the music. They just don't have that thump. Overall, the sound of these is pretty impressive. I think this is a headphone that I'll keep at least for a little bit. So overall, these three headphones, they are designed to be used inside your home in a quiet place where you won't be distracted by noises around you, and you will not be distracting others with your music. So that's my review of these three headphones. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did enjoy this video, please hit that like button below and subscribe to this channel if you have not done so already. Thank you for watching, and I hope you all have a great day.